Alright, so in this video I will be ranking characters based upon their synergy with Acheron, the unit right here. Why? Because I have not seen a tier list like specifically centered around one unit. So the unit today is Acheron, the obvious S plus unit in tier 0 in almost all game modes. Essentially, Acheron is a very good unit, but not all teammates, not all characters can be used with her, so I'll be blindly ranking all of them. Disclaimer, firstly, I will be doing this spontaneously. I have no idea what characters I will be seeing. I just have a slight knowledge on what some characters do and don't. And secondly, all of this is my opinion, so feel free to disagree or share your opinions. This is all my own opinion. So basically, I have separated into several tiers. I'm sorry, and we will be correcting them upon how good they are with Acheron. So first of all, let's do March. I will put her in good, I guess. Throughout the video, I may change the rankings of characters so that it looks better. But why did I put her in probably decent? I will put her in decent for now. Why? Because preservation units have access to various trends of the universal market, which makes preservation units essentially better than most other option. Because unlike abundance unit, she provides sustain, but she can also be used for an offensive stat because she will get more slash dream stacks with Acheron. Though I'll put her in good, I will drop it down again because she is a bad sustain. She's not good by any means. And yeah, that's about it for her, I suppose. Asta I will put in A. Why? Because her basic attack can apply burn, which is a debuff, which gives a stat to Acheron. She also have a flat speed from her ult, which is nice to have, and she also buffs attack with Acheron scales from attack as well. So she has some synergistic value with Acheron. I would just skip main carries that Arlen, he's just bad. Then Hank, why would you use him with a hook? Why? This actually have some synergy in pure fiction, though I will not put her in this because that's not the main purpose. D because no in this unit no synergistic value. B decent. Why? Even though nihility is quite yeah, it's quite sparse. There's not a lot of nihility units. Here he is in tier 3, which is a bit low. I would honestly think he's not that bad. He's not that bad. He provides some sub DPS capabilities, but he's mostly used in dot teams, which means he will probably be better with dot characters like Kafka and Black Swan. Mostly just Kafka though, because he is somewhat of a substitute to Black Swan, but not so much. Bella S. She is the best Death Strider, second to Silver Wolf, and probably better than Silver Wolf because she has AoE. Silver Wolf doesn't have AoE, so she's basically S. If you have her, you will use her. You will always use her because her entire kit is very good. Her base, if you have resolutions of resolution white cone, she can apply a debuff every turn, which with her basic, and then her ult will reduce the defense of enemies, so you get double defense shred from that alone, and that will really amplifies Acheron's damage output. She also increases her stack by a lot because her ult has a quite low energy requirement, which makes her very easy to use with a energy regen rope. And yeah, that's Pella. She's very good and you will always want to use her. So she has a debuff. Why? Because she is an erudition dot unit. I don't know. Last time I used her is a very long time ago. She is bad. I would just say she's bad. She's not that good. King Feno, no Ting Yun. Yeah. She can buff attack, though the entire use of Ting Yun is to give energy to your main carry, while Acheron does not benefit from energy at all because her ult does not use the energy requirement thing. She has stacks for her health. Miko, not so much. Not so much. What the fuck I'm saying? She is a carry basically. So in pure fiction, she has some use, but not so much. Okay, this might come as a surprise because Welt in the tier list is actually like below Gunaifen and actually the same tier as Sample, even though I put him above Sample like in 2 tiers. Why did I put him? Because Welt is actually not a bad character, if I may say so myself. He's slow from his skill, basically does nothing, though that is a part of his synergetic kit. He can absolutely output a decent amount of damage. While even though he's has a sub DPS, he's not that good. The main thing about Welt is that he can delay enemies with his ult. His ult applies Imprison. Imprison is a control effect, which means you can cancel some boss attacks. So it makes him a pseudo-sustain. You can use him in those teams, though I will not recommend it myself because you are essentially giving yourself more risk than it is worth it to use well in that situation. So you will use a sustain like March maybe. This is a bad example. Don't use March. He is good. I would say he is good. He has a very good free-to-play light cone, which is the Void light cone. He's very easy to build since he only relies on talent. You don't really have to build him DPS, if not. Though he will want to scale every turn, which is something you need to note of. But other than that, he is, I would say, a very good unit. Bronya, I will say, I don't know. I'll put him. I would put her here for now because she can buff crit damage and buff attack, and also 100% action advance, which benefits Acheron a lot because she will, if you have her R1, her signature light cone, she will want to skill every time because that applies 2 debuffs. That gives her 2 stacks of slash dream, which makes her ult faster. But the thing about Bonya is without her constellation or her light cone, you will consume a lot of skill points. She is also a harmony unit, which means you will want her to you will want Acheron to be Eidolon 2. Yeah, Eidolon, not Constellation, I'm sorry. You will want Acheron to be Eidolon 2 because that reduces the nihility requirement to 1 unit instead of 2. So how many units here is very much what if you have Acheron in Eidolon 2, because in Eidolon 0, basically you will never want her to have to -1 nihility. So you will always want 2 nihility units instead of 1, because that is a massive loss of damage. Gepard I will actually put in A. Gepard is actually, I would say, sometimes better than Aventurine, though I will put him in A just because he is good. His skill can apply the freeze debuff, which delays one enemy action because it's freeze. It's going to delay the enemy. And you will probably build him with effect hit rate since you will be using the Bellabog of Artifact Sting, which increases the effect hit rate and increases your defense by a lot. So in some cases, Aventurine is actually better because, I mean, Aventurine is better than Gepard because he provides a lot more shields than him. He is kind of stuck with his ultimate, but if you're, but his skill is a very, very valuable thing. You will be struggling a lot with skill point because your nihility units wants to scale, and then your Acheron wants to scale, and then Gepard wants to scale. There's a lot of skill point consumption going on here. But if you can somehow use him, like if you have an nihility like Sampo, he can apply debuff with his basic attack, which means he can provide skill points, and then you can use probably Gepard to skill as well and apply freeze to an enemy. So I'd say he's not bad. He's worse than Aventurine, but he is good for Acheron, and he is good for a lot of things as well. The thing about honkaistarrail playlists that I hate is because because someone is better than them doesn't mean they're bad. I mean, tier 2 seems a bit like a bit savage in my opinion. You can still put him like here and not with Lucha. I think here is not a bad spot because his shield is very large and strong, but just fell off after venturing. Very unfortunate. Bailu, I'll put in C. D. Not much synergistic value with Acheron. Yanqing, no. Seal, no. Qingyuan, no. I don't even know what she does. I think she can be good, but no. So Wolf, A. Slightly worse than Pella. I would put, if you don't have any other Nihility unit, maybe like Jiaqiou, she is quite equal, and she can amplify single target damage by a lot. She can also weakness implant and other fun gimmicky stuff, which makes her very good. Bocha, I mean, this is just the synergic value with Acheron. If hero does not apply debuff, I switch to the yeah. I think that's fair. Luca, I don't know. This one's hard. I'll put him here for now. The thing about Luca is that he cannot apply debuff with his basic attack. You will want to scale with him. He does have a lot of damage output because his debuff bleed actually scales from the enemy's HP instead of his own damage. So that is something to make a note of. But he is mostly single target oriented, and you will want to scale every time with him. So he is a good sub DPS, though I would not say when compared to Welt, which is a standard character as well. I mean, he is somewhat easier to obtain than Luca. I mean, Luca, you will have to wait until he rotates to get him, or just get lucky. But compared to Welt, which the two is a sub DPS unit in Acheron's team, I'd say Welt is better and Luca is worse. Of course, because he's a 5-star, he's a 4-star. But other than that, actually Luca is very much bad. I want to. I mean, in the tier list, as you can see, he is the same as Kunaifan. He is actually one of the better 4-star, below Pela. I mean, Nihility itself is a very tight roster to be in, so I will put him here because because he's good, but he's kind of bad. One, because he's single target oriented, and second, because he is very skill point in blade. No, Kafka. Okay, Kafka. The thing about I don't know honestly. I will put her in A. Uh, the thing about Kafka and dot teams in general is that they kind of fell off in recent times. Their damage output isn't as good as they used to be. Uh, and the thing about Acheron, I will find Black Swan. Wait, Black Swan. Where is Black Swan? The thing about this, I will put here in that section. I will explain later, but Kafka first. The part about Acheron is that they apply a lot of debuffs, but they will also consume a heck ton of skill points, which means they will consume a lot of skill points. You will manage the skill points very tightly. You will want to keep every single one of them. You will want to use skill on each one of these characters, but they will they all want to use their skills, but you kind of have to share it between these three, which is a complicated matter, in my opinion. I don't know. The Kafka itself, without Black Swan or another dark unit, will just drop in value. I will put in D. But synergy wise, if you are using her with Black Swan, she's actually a good unit because Acheron is not a bad archetype to use in Star Rail, but not as good as others. In Black Swan, she is good because her Arcana stacks actually refreshes every time the enemy has a turn. So you can get a lot of more /dream stacks, which is why Acheron is even remotely viable because you by the time enemy moves, you will have more stacks, and then you will have Acheron ult much faster, which may or may not compensate for the fact that Acheron does not need to scale every time she turns. But I don't know. That is something I myself do not have these two characters, but from what I can tell by reading the stats from the wiki and this website Python.gg, shout out to them by the way. These two are a dilemma to have. Lynx, she does have a deep. Okay. Which one? Okay. She's a better version of Gepard. She can use Strength of the Universal Market, and she basically does Gepard's job, but better because she is a better sustain. Green Knifen, I will say. I will put her in. Okay, Green Knifen is A plus because her 5 kiss ability. Welt also has a vulnerability for Welt amplifies the Acheron's damage by 12%, but Green Knifen 12% and 3 stacks, so 36% damage amplification. She is, from that alone, she is a very good. I don't think she can. I don't. Does she apply debuff from her basic attack rate? No, she doesn't. I don't think she does. Talent. Okay, so you want to use the skill once and then basic. Okay, so she's a very good unit. Not better than Kafka because Kafka essentially enables this, and this as well. So Kafka acts as an enabler, but Kunaifen herself is not a bad character. I would say she is miles better than these two characters because these two characters are mainly dot, while Kunaifen herself is a dot unit and can provide synergistic value with Acheron. Which is very, very valuable. And if you get her E6, you can get another 12%, which is a 48% damage bonus to Acheron. Of course, that is E6. Liu and Topaz. I will actually put her in the list, but on the bottom because if you can, no, I don't. Hanya, she can provide skill point. I don't know if her what is called. She applies a status effect to an enemy, but I don't think that counts as a debuff, which is unfortunate. She is usable. She is good in Acheron with Kafka X1, but she herself does not provide synergistic value. She can regenerate energy, which is good for Kafka and X1, and perhaps most of the characters in this list because they all use energy. But for Acheron herself, she doesn't use energy, so that is kind of a minus. Dr. Ratio actually has a debuff on his skill, though not that good. Ruan Mei. An interesting topic actually. I am contemplating whether or not to put her, because Harmony characters in general needs her second Eidolon to be good. But yeah, Ruan Mei actually provides a lot of things to the table. Weakness break efficiency, break effect, and damage bonus, I think. And secondly, she amplifies your damage a lot. About weakness break efficiency, I think it also works with Acheron's ult, so you will almost be guaranteed to break an enemy's weakness in one ult. And she also delays enemies' break, so they will receive overall more damage when you use Ruan Mei. Sparkle, I will put her in A. I would argue she's better than Bonya, Asta, and Ruan Mei because one, she provides crit damage, which is very, very good for Acheron as a crit-based DPS. She's also advancing forward her action by 50%. If you use Hyperspeed Sparkle, you can. Acheron herself will mostly use attack boots, so she will be very slow. But if you have Hyperspeed Sparkle, she will essentially have half of the Sparkle's speed. So these two have synergistic value a lot because if you have a R1, she will take 2 stacks every time her skills, and Sparkle can enable Acheron to act much faster, and also provides skill point. Sparkle also gives damage bonus. Sorry if I stutter a lot in this video. This is my first time recording a spontaneous video like this. I am very sorry if my voice stutters a lot. Okay. Yeah, it's actually that. Galagher, I have been waiting for this guy to come. I should. Yeah. Galagher, she is absolutely amazing as a 4-star unit because he can apply 2 debuffs in quick succession. She also amplifies break damage, which is not a lot, not a significant change in terms of DPS for Acheron, but it is a nice perk to have. She also essentially generates 1 skill point every time he ults, and it's very easy to build him. You will need to level up his trace, and that's pretty much it. You can use any relic set on this dude, and he will be fine, honestly. Don't forget to get some break effect and energy regen, and you will have a very reliable healer which can apply 2 debuffs in quick succession, which is a very good synergy with Acheron because you will want to get as much stack as fast as possible. Robin, I don't know where to put her. I'll say yeah, I think that's appropriate. You know what? There, okay. Robin advances forward her entire team, which is massive because if your Acheron team will be oriented to give as much debuff as humanly possible, to give Acheron as much stack as humanly possible as well. What Robin essentially does is give you a second chance to apply those debuffs again while having a good buff, which is buffing attack. Of course, it's not crit like Sparkle, so she isn't actually. She isn't as good as Sparkle in my opinion. But if you have a team that can synergize well with Robin, almost any team synergizes with Robin. Yeah, Robin's kit overall is very good because he advances forward her entire team. Yeah, so you can essentially apply a debuff twice if you can get her ult fast enough. Aventurine S. He is. He's not S. I will put him A. He only has a debuff from her ultimate, which is probably, I would say, worse than Gepard because Gepard will apply more debuffs, plural. But the thing about the Aventurine is that he is actually an insane sustain unit. He doesn't have a taunt ability, so actually, yeah. Speaking of taunt, I will share this too. Aventurine with trend of the universal market absolutely balls any game mode because one, you have a very good sustain. You will not take damage in this entire round, in this entire game. And secondly, you will get more stacks for Acheron, which is just good. It's just good, no question asked. Trailblazer, this is the fire Trailblazer, the preservation Trailblazer. I'll put him white below Gepard. He is not a good sustain, I would say. But if you have a game mode like Pure Friction, where there's a lot of enemies, he is very good. Because why? His skill, I will note his skill, which means he will also very much like to consume skills. But his skill taunts the entire all of the enemies. And if you put Trends of the Universal Market with him, that is essentially in Pure Friction 5 enemies, so you will get 5 stacks for Acheron, guaranteed. That is huge. Though the thing about Fire Trailblazer is that he actually is not that good of a sustain. The shield that he provides to the team is very low. He is a fourth tanker. He will face tanker. He will tank any damage given to him because he has a damage reduction in his kit. But he's not that good in providing sustainable team coverage because his team may die, but he will not. So that is kind of unfortunate that his shields is not that good to the point where it can actually buff their protect his team better than Gepard or Fusion or Aventurine. Finally, last but not least, Jiaqiou, which is I'm contemplating whether he is better than Pella. I would say he is probably worse than Pella, but just because Pella is a 4-star, more accessible. I mean that I use that argument, but anyways, I will put it better. So his ult is a field, so it lasts even on multi-wave content. Uh, his skill, oh my god, where are my words? His skill reapplies debuff every time the enemies. So it's like a Black Swan thing. But the thing about Jiaqiou is he's actually better than Black Swan because his kit is actually designed for Acheron. His kit essentially increases ultimate damage and the damage taken by the enemy while providing a decent dot, except on E2, which makes his dot extremely powerful, but we will not talk about the E2. At E0, he is essentially a very, very good character to be paired with Acheron. He is actually the upgrade to Bella. He is just very, very good. If you didn't pull for Jiaqiou when we ran last time, you will absolutely want to pull him whenever he comes again. Why? Because he actually increases the damage that Acheron outputs by a lot, and he also applies so much debuff similar to Black Swan while having synergistic value with Acheron. So that is something huge to talk about. Yeah, I don't think there's much of other units like uh, some notable, I mean non-notable units like perhaps that ratio applies a debuff with the skill. Pure fiction boys like Herta, Jade, and Himeko is probably usable in pure fiction because in that game mode, if you can one cycle it before the enemies act, you will not want sustain. You will almost always want to have a second sub DPS. These three units actually balls in pure fiction, but other than that, they will not be usable. They are interchangeable, of course. I don't know. So I'm not a pure fiction guy, so I will not be reading any of them. Uh, where is it? Okay, so these three guys, I mean these two guys, Topaz and Mose, does not have much synergy. I don't know if Topaz refreshing her skill thing, the debuff, the what is it called? Actually, proof of depth, yeah, proof of depth maybe has a synergy with her. So essentially, if you kill that enemy, that debuff changes. I don't think that counts as a traditional debuff that increases Acheron stacks. I don't know. Okay, so Moise has the same thing, but on his E2. So yeah, basically just that. So he is the final tier list. Acheron, of course, being the main topic of today's yapping session. Jiaqiou, best Acheron utility support. Silver Wolf second best. Pella second best. Silver Wolf third best. Galagher most. Actually, okay. That seems a lot more fair. I will put it. You know what? I will still. Okay. Just kidding, guys. I just changed the tier list again. Okay, you know what? Before I actually end this, I will. What is the half an hour? Okay. I will need to wrap it up fast. Okay, I think this is already pretty good. Where's you go? Okay, I'll just put her here just because she is a harmony unit, which may or may not buff Acheron, though might not by a significant amount. Luca is better than Sampo. Sampo is actually just if you use him with Black Swan, he will probably be better, but not so much. Should I drop Asta? No, she has a debuff, so that's yeah. I think this is the final here. Should I put Harbor Fusion? I mean, Fusion. Okay, Fusion should be here because the harmony units only are viable on Eidolon 2, so they are not as good as someone that will work with a current regardless of Eidolon. So yeah, I think this is basically it. Tell me what you think. This is all based on synergy with Acheron. Again, I'm stating again. I'm also stating again that this is all my opinion. I don't mean to offend anyone or anyone in any way, shape, form. I just hope that this is entertaining. This is mostly just designed for you to listen to a guy yap for half an hour about fucking characters that you can use with Acheron. I mean, you can use this character technically. You can, but why would you? Because you know what I mean, they don't provide anything to Acheron's kit. This is the tier list where Acheron is the hyper carry, with the exception being Acheron, which is a dual carry. Yeah, I think this is very much it. Let me know if you have anything to tell me. I doubt anyone will even watch this video because I am a super small channel. There you go. Thank you so much if you watched till the end. I'm sorry if you had to listen to half an hour of this. I mean, you will probably leave this in the background. I will hope you did, because I would very much be sorry about your time that you just wasted. But yeah, that is very much it. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you all in the next thing. Yeah, I guess. This is my first time recording a video with my voice, so I hope everything goes well. Okay.